All right. We're going to wait a couple minutes here to get started. We have a smaller group today, which I love. So we're going to give it another minute or so to get started for the small group that's here. Just put in the chat where you're from and what you want to learn or get out of this, and that always helps kind of guide the conversation. But today's going to be a lot more interactive, so I want you guys to be ready to be rapid fire typing in where you want the conversation to go. Um, and then let me know where you're from because then I use that as examples when I'm doing some mock searches on here. Um, but I'm going to go through real quickly the presentation I went through last time on agent prospecting and the SEC system of contacting agents that I know some of you may have seen. Um, but definitely put in the comments or chat if you have not seen the agent prospecting webinar I did last month going through the playbook. So I'm going to breeze through the deck. So bear with me if you've seen it before. It's only about 13 slides actually. Um, Dustin, welcome. Grant, Ian, what's up, guys? I like it. Idaho, Florida, Alaska, all over the place. Um, and then let me know too what you're struggling with in terms of agent prospecting. And then we can kind of get into some of this dialogue as we go. So I'm going to get started because we're up against a tight deadline. I will be signing off at about the 50-minute mark. So all right, let's get going here. And guys, let me know in the chat too if you've already seen um, the deck from last time. Okay, Ian, have not seen it. That's good. Um, all right, guys, I am going to pop right off. I'm going to share my screen. I have to reset permissions, so bear with me 1 second here. All right. Screen recording. Okay, saw first deck, Grant, Wade. Again, guys, I'm going to go through the main parts of it that we need to cover, and then we'll move right on to jumping into more questions. Were there any follow-up questions? That's kind of what I want to get to next. Anything from the last deck that anyone's actually tried? I saw some of you replicated the document and started making edits in there and started doing kind of running the system. I want to know how it's going. All right, screen recording. Here we go. Always a journey sharing screens here. All right, guys, bear with me. I'm going to do a quick little restart of my Chrome browser, and then I'll start sharing. And yes, you guys will be able to view this afterwards. I send out all recordings and post them on spectora.com/r/webinars. So look out for that. All right. And we are back. Let's get into it, guys. So I'm going to blow up the screen here so you can see it better because that's the feedback I got last time. All right. So again, I'm going to run through the presentation, the deck that I have with you guys, and we're just going to reiterate a few major key points here. So agent prospecting, again, going to become more important for you new inspectors here. And guys, I want to put in the chat too how long you've been in the business and how many inspections you've done, because it's important for me to know that. So um, for those of you that don't know, again, agent prospecting, agents are going to be where you get a majority of your business. So average tenure, 3 years for an agent. And that's probably going to go down as we have slightly less home sales volume coming into the back half of this year. Their aging home inspectors are retiring. So you guys, there's so much opportunity right now to get in touch with agents whose home inspectors are either less available, that are phasing out of the market. And then you got to have a system to fall back on. So this is going to be, again, a template for a framework for reaching out to agents and consistently contacting the right ones. And you have to kind of stick to this. This has to be baked into your day-to-day, week-to-week strategy. One key aspect, guys, is to remember this takes persistence. This is a rule of 7. And this is the age-old marketing and advertising rule that people have to see your brand 7 times before they'll buy from you or even consider. And so this is a game of persistence. I hear stories all the time, guys, of agents not using someone until they've seen them around for months, half a year, sometimes a year. Grant, congratulations, 2 years, about 400 inspections. That's amazing. So if any of this you can shed a light on, things that have worked for you, definitely let us know, Grant, because 400 in 2 years, pretty damn good. Okay, so for those of you that have seen this, you know the SEC 3-pack, it stands for social, email, and phone call. And what that means is any prospect that you find or that you hear about, you want to document when you follow them on social, how you comment on their posts, when you email them multiple times, and then the times that you call them. So you want to do multiple contact points. So I can't stress that enough to everyone here. It's not one and done. People need to hear from you many, many times before they see a message a lot of times. I was an agent, guys. Remember, agents sometimes are busier than you think, maybe not with their business, maybe with life. They miss emails. They don't see things on social. So you got to know that you got to have multiple contact points. There's more than just these, 3 that you can do in more places, but I want to stress that you have to follow on social. You got to email them and you got to call them to give yourself the best chance. You might get lucky following someone on social and then boom, they message you back or they answer a direct message or an email. Blake, Adam, thank you. Again, everyone's at different points in this journey, guys. 15, 70, training, 400 inspections in 2 years. So let's share ideas in the chat too, if you guys have anything along these lines that has been working. So key points here. I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet. We're going to speed through that. But the key point here is you want a template for how you email and how you follow on social. You kind of want to create your documentation. You don't want to wing it. I have experience in winging it, having grown Spectora from the beginning, and I really wish I would have created systems and processes for how I did demos and how I reached out to home inspectors. Congrats, Ryan. That's awesome. Even 2. Going into this environment, guys, I want to celebrate each and every inspection and treat it like it's gold, like it can lead to more referrals from those agents, because that's the fact of the matter. You want to reference the other touch points. What that means is when you follow them on social and write them a message on Instagram or Facebook, you tell that agent, hey, I'm going to shoot you an email just to follow up, or hey, I'm going to give you a call in the next couple of days just to catch up or just to follow up on what I'm sending you now. Ryan, congrats, 17 months, 268. That's great. Hopefully you can get some nuggets from this. You want to give a consistent message. So for those of you here that don't have a consistent value prop that you just hammer home every time, it's time to go back to the drawing board and think about what that is, because Ryan, some of you guys, Grant, some of you guys that have had a great run these last year or 2, we've been in a bull market for 10 years, 10 plus years, 11 years. I know a lot of people have had success as a result of the individual things they do, but we also have to be mindful of the fact that it's been a frothy market and a rising tide raises all ships. And so now it's time for people's value to really come out. So unique value proposition, UVP, is kind of the jargony business term for like, what do you do that's unique? What do you do that's special? And it doesn't have to be literally unique in the whole industry, guys. You just have to talk about it more and market it better. So I want to repeat that for everybody. If you have some unique value props, you do not have to be the only one in the industry that does it. You just have to talk about it more and get it in more places and really tout it as a reason why an agent should use you. It's marketing. You're in the marketing business. So delivering that consistent message through email, social, and when you talk to people on the phone, pretty important to kind of know what your thing is. And I want to share one. I hope it's okay. There was a template that I put out there that I think actually started to be customized by, I don't know if Jonathan's here, but he put at the top of why choose us. He's got some really good value props up here. So he put, hey, I do drone and infrared on all inspections, one a day, including weekends for best service. Super key affiliate. That's the key you use to unlock homes. Walkthrough consultations offered. 12 years of customer service, certified. Radon, same day reporting with the repair request builder. Online scheduler allows clients to see availability, pricing. These are some good things for you guys to kind of have in your arsenal. If you don't have a bullet list of this, I highly recommend creating your bullet list of why choose your business. And you have to repeat it, write it down, internalize it. Some of this may seem like fluffy business stuff, guys, but when you repeat this and you write it everywhere and you remind yourself, you're building conviction in yourself, because when you're at coffee with an agent, you want it to come out with conviction that you actually believe that you offer all these things in a really high level, at a really high level, and then they start to believe it. So again, write these things out, put them in lots of places. I absolutely think that's the key. Relationship building, Grant, we're going to get into this. So guys, here's the simple spreadsheet that I'm going to clone and just share with everyone that's here. There's only about 37 of you here, so I love that it's a small group. So I'm going to share the spreadsheet if you don't have it. All I did here, guys, was I started with the Zillow listing in Denver because that's where I am. So I Googled a real estate agent Denver Zillow. So that's the term you'll Google is Zillow Realtor, insert your city, whether it's Idaho, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio. You're going to get a list of all the agents in the area and some that run ads even. So at the top are going to be people that run ads. I went through to 8Z. Oh, cool. 152 brokers at this brokerage. Let me click through on Tim. Awesome. He tells me just everything I need to know about him, things he's interested in, where he's from, where he went to college. These agents put a lot of this information out there, guys, to the point of, I think it was Grant that said it in the comments. How do you build a relationship? You learn about people. You get details about people, and then you reference those details when you're talking to them. So again, forest firefighter. I guarantee someone in this call was a firefighter or knows a firefighter. So that is an in. That's something more generic than, hey, I'm a new home inspector in the Northeastern Ohio area. Can you use me? No. Hey, I have a cousin that was a firefighter. Really, really appreciate what you've done. Hopefully you're settling into your career post. Would love to hear some stories about it. Can I buy you coffee sometime? That had nothing to do with home inspections. I didn't reference anything having to do with home inspections, but I referenced something that I learned about him that he put out there on public domain. So it's okay to reference. I've completed professionally with bagpipe bands. Like, you can't, this is gold, guys. This is giving you insight into these people's kind of personal lives. That's how you connect with people. That's how people trust you and want to do business with you. So again, back to the spreadsheet. I list him here. I say which brokerage he's with. Last 12 months sales. That's another beautiful thing that Zillow tells you. 21 sales last 12 months gives me an idea to the level I'm speaking at. Yep, Adam, I like it. You got this. Volunteer firefighter. See, I knew it. love that connection. This is how you get people's attention because we're in a noisy world, guys. Agents get bombarded from everyone from every angle. So the sheer fact that we found this info in 1 minute of research. What if Tim does 30 in the next 12 months and he gives you even 5 of them? Would that change your business? What if he gives you 10, 20 of them? Mike, that's good. Doesn't everyone buy the bagpipes? This is great. But if you reference these things, you're showing them you've put in work, that you're more likely to get their attention. Quality over quantity, guys. I don't want anyone blasting out an email to, I don't want, I'll take that back. You can blast out to, the MLS list of 3,000 agents in your area. James, I will send this out to everybody by the end of the day. I have heard of success. Grant Waller up in the Washington area sent out a blast to 3,000 agents when he was new with a discount code. He went with quality over quantity. He sprayed and prayed, and it worked. So I'm not telling you it can't work, but you better have a compelling offer. You better have a good website. You better have everything else in line if you're going to do a spray and pray approach, because that's kind of your one shot if you're going to do some blasts like that, because you can only do that so much before you possibly get caught by spam filters in email. But anyway, I'm just going to put bagpipes, firefighter. But when I sit down to email him or I give him a call, everybody, I'm going to maybe reference this. And then I put down his website, his blog. I'm going to check all these little things out: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm going to follow this guy everywhere. I'm going to read a blog post of his. And then, you know what? I'm going to follow him on social. So let's go to his Instagram real quick. Boom. You follow here. And then you go comment on a few posts, guys. So this is, the desktop version of Instagram. I recommend you get familiar with Instagram. A lot of agents are there and going there. And so you want to go into these and comment, guys. Don't just follow him. So this is the important part of the S and the SEC of social. Of, yeah, you follow him. He's got 413 followers. He might not notice that. But you know what? He has 0 comments on this post. People are insecure when they post on social media, y'all. Just the fact that you comment with Inspect Montana's account on Instagram, you can do it with a business account. You comment on this, guys. He's going to see it. He's going to care. You mentioned something about the house or mentioned something about the area because you're all experts in your area or going to become experts. And so I would read his comment and even see how you can add value. I would read this and say, wow, 91K above list. That's crazy, but I'm glad they got a home. Whatever. Leave a human response though, and he's going to see it. I promise you guys. With 0 comments and 6 likes, you just made a difference. You just got a great impression with an agent that did 21 deals. That's not exactly chopped liver, right? I mean, that's someone you get a relationship with. Oh, and by the way, he's part of a brokerage that has 1,930 sales in the last 12 months. What if he's great friends with Jennifer, Steven, Sergio, Amy, and Luke? You now have the opportunity to get exposure to a crap ton of transactions and people. He may be in sales meetings with these people. So that's the mentality you have to take. You're planting seeds within these big brokerage firms. And this is how the word of mouth can spread and really grow a business. I've seen it, guys, over the years happen over and over and over. So again, follow on social, leave a comment, and do it consistently. You can turn on post notifications. So I think that's on mobile. But Google it, how to turn on post notifications for Instagram posts. What it does is it'll just pop down on your phone and say, Tim just put up a new post. You can comment on it right away. That's how you just kind of follow people around in a non-creepy way. Ryan, how do you make a Zillow account for home inspectors? Been trying to look, can't find it. I'm gonna have to follow up with you on that, Ryan. They used to make it very easy. I don't know if they still allow it or not. They did make it harder to find, oddly. So I don't know if they're deprioritizing inspector listings on Zillow. We'll see. Okay, so we handled the social media part, guys. You followed Tim, you commented on a couple posts. Um, you commented on some of his fun stuff, a personal thing, his woodworking. He makes tables. That's great. He loves soccer. Look, no one commented on that. If you love soccer, comment on that. You're gonna connect. You have a common interest now. So you do that, right? Then you shoot the guy an email. Say, hey Tim, would love to catch up over coffee. Note, mention something about the soccer game or his mountain home, the firefighter thing, the bagpipe thing. You'll find a way to weave it in if you're being genuine with finding out someone's interests. So you want to send the email, say, hey, loving the Instagram posts, followed you on Instagram. Mind if I swing by and grab coffee? James, I think either's fine. I think here's the differences, right? James's question: should we follow them as ourselves or our business page? I think if you're very, very good at posting personal, vulnerable, fun things on your personal page, do it with your personal. If your personal is a little more reserved, you don't feel like very open to exposing parts of your personal life, then just do business and keep it kind of on the more professional side. But I highly recommend everyone here consider sharing kind of the fun moments in life and the little things, whether it be with your pets or your family, on your personal and business page occasionally. Because I recommend everyone go listen to the podcast episode if you haven't already with Philip Dancer on Spectora Spotlight, because his social media page is a great example of mostly business, but mixing in some fun personal stuff and weaving them together to show that you have personality and that you're fun to be around and work with, but also good at your job and a professional. So, James, I hope that gives you at least a guideline there on, if it's personal, go all in on it and be prepared to share fun, detailed, sometimes emotional stuff. If not, business is fine too. And so let's jump into, I'm going to pull up, guys, my email, and what I'm going to show you here are a few templates for the emails that you're going to send to these agents. Let's see. Philip Dancer. That's I think it was 5 episodes ago. So if you go to Spectora Spotlight in Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, pull up the Philip Dancer episode. He talks about using social media. And then and thanks Stefan from my teams here. Stefan, if you even want to link to his Instagram, that would be helpful. I'm blanking on like his exact handle right now, but all right, guys, check it out. So for those of you that use Gmail, I'm pretty sure any email provider has canned responses to speed up your emailing of these agents, right? Because you go to this spreadsheet and you're like, wow, I've got, 50 agents now on my list that I want to email. How do I speed this up? So if you go to Gmail, I can only show you here and go to templates. Boom. I got agent engagement number 1. Boom. Hey, just going to pop this in. Hey, Tim. So in this one, I'm trying to drive engagement. So this is different. I linked to a real estate market article that talks about probably the Denver housing market. Yep, that's what I did. So this was just an update from a real estate company that talks about the current market, gives a lot of good data. This is my attempt at getting him to engage. So I'm saying, hey, are we in for another year of record low inventory? Is there any way I can support you? Like genuine good questions. Oh, and my goal, I want to connect with active agents I haven't worked with before to brainstorm ways we can work together. Collaborative. Again, I'm not saying anything about, hey, send me business. I'm a new inspector. I'm open, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying I want to connect. I have genuine questions. I'm sending you a link. People love clicking on links if they open an email. Oh, I'll leave my website here as well. The online scheduling feature is pretty slick. Check it out and let me know what you think. Another opportunity to ask a question. Feel free to bookmark it next time you need a quick inspection. And I would even add something like, if your primary inspector is booked out. That's showing empathy, guys. You're saying, I know a lot of inspectors are booked out a week or two, a lot of preferred inspectors. I'm getting my foot in the door now by saying, hey, just let me know if I can be your number two. That's one of the most money lines you can use is like, hey, if your guy's booked and needs something quick, I can do that. Um, to the spreadsheet's point, I only do one a day. You can say stuff like that. I only do one inspection a day to make sure I'm working with our clients. And I'm going to share, guys. I'm going to put in an article and share by the end of tomorrow all of these templates, by the way. So don't feel like you have to jot down any of these email templates. So that's one. Here's another one. Again, I have these saved as templates. Agent feature plus coffee. Let's see what I said here. Hey, agent, I'd love your feedback on my reports repair request builder. Just click on the video midway down the page. My agent says it saves them an hour on the inspection objection process. So let's break this down real quick, guys. So you're telling them that you understand that they spend time on the inspection objection or the repair addendum, whatever it's called in your state. It's different in every state. You're telling them, hey, I know this takes time. My agents save an hour on that. What do you think? Do you want to save an hour? Of course they do. So you're teasing them with something to get them to click through to your website. Oh, guess what? You have a resources for agents page because we build that on our Spectora site. So of course that's a pitch for us to build your website because you need to have a page that speaks directly to agents. You want them to know that you're thinking about the things they're thinking about. So, oh, cool. They serve these areas. I'm an agent in that area. That's good to know. Okay. Oh, wow. These reports are cool. Tells you a little. An agent's now looking. Okay. Agent clicks on the video. Now they learn about a tool on your reports. You may just have some interest there. Whether you're looking for a backup inspector, notice I said backup, guys. Again, soft sell. I'm not saying I want to be your number one guy and you send me all 21 transactions that you do a year. Just let me do a backup one for you when your guy's busy. I'd love to connect. And then this is more of a hard sell close in terms of meeting up for coffee. How does 9 a.m. work for a coffee meeting near your office? Again, guys, this can be worded and tailored to your communication style, but you're really asking them, hey, how does 9 a.m. work for a coffee meeting? Because that's your conversion. Remember, it's your conversion is getting coffee, getting them to click on a link, maybe getting them to save your number, but it's not definitely they send you an inspection next week. James, we'll talk about that offline. James's question. How do you throw the link to bring them to that exact page? So I think what you're asking. So here I linked directly to the 4Agents page, but then there's a way we can add an anchor link that links them directly down to this part of the page. So just write into our web team and they can create that for you. Really, it's just like you end up adding like a hash like this, where it looks like hash demo in the URL here and it drops them right down to it. So I think that's what you're asking. Let's see. Yeah, and Stefan, I think we had 2 episodes with Philip, so you can link to both of them, or at least reference both of them in the chat so you guys can find it. Because I think on the first one, we also talk about social media. Okay, so that's a little bit on email templates, guys. I don't want to go too deep there because I'm going to send you guys all of this. I mentioned the nice website with the 4Agents page with a video of the repair request builder because your competition probably does not have the repair request builder. Some of them might still do reports in Word, for goodness sakes. They still exist. Yes, inspectors still exist that do Word documents. So, and then guys, we want to follow up multiple times. So after you send this initial email, I have follow-up 1, follow-up 2 on here because I don't care about bugging people. They will tell you if they're annoyed. They will tell you to stop emailing them if they really want that. Most people want to be reached out to. Most people want the value that you have to provide. So you have to have that mentality of a thick skin of saying, you know what? There might be an agent or 2 that just says, nope, leave me alone, not interested. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? There's 9 or 10 that are reading your emails that are clicking on these links. So we want to follow up. Prospecting, again, MLS, Zillow, Google search, personal network, and social media. So guys, if you just need agents to prospect, I love Zillow the most because it provides a ton of information that they pull from local MLS and like local data. So I think it's the best because it links to every property from that agent. gives you personal information and gives you sales. If you can get MLS access, if you're friendly with an agent, go do that. So you can log into the MLS and export from the MLS agent lists with emails, phone numbers, so on and so forth. Guys, don't sleep on the personal network too. Constantly be asking people if they know agents. That's all you need. You just need to get the name, because you know what? Then you can Google it. You can get their website, their phone number, and you're popping them into your spreadsheet. Cool. Okay. And then social media, guys, don't forget to use the search feature on Instagram and just put in Realtor Columbus, Realtor Boise, Realtor Nashville. Yep, guys, social follow. Again, follow, comment, and engage consistently. This pays dividends in the long term. So I went through the email, the direct ask, market talk, relationship building. How is the cabin? I referenced that. I jumped ahead a little bit. And then asking for feedback, guys, is a very good strategy. So I'm going to see if I have a template in here. So I have agent direct. So, okay. So this one is like market talk, right? And a direct email. So for those of you that want to just be more direct and see how that works, what is your personal ask? Is it to get coffee? Is it to get feedback on your reports? Is it to be their backup inspector? Sometimes you can go with a direct sell. Some agents respond well to that. So I'm telling you guys to beta test some of these and see what gets responses. Look, I'll cut right to it. I don't want to be your primary home inspector. I just like to be your number two when your main guy's busy. Boom. Just reply with your cell number. You're asking them to do something. You're not saying, just let me know. Anytime you guys find yourself saying, just let me know, that's passive. And we kind of want to get rid of that. We want to have an ask, or we want to add value in some way. So just reply your cell number and I'll shoot you a text with my contact info. So now you're going to save each other's info if they do this, if they take you up on this. And then you leave a link to the website in case they're kind of a passive browser. If they're kind of skeptical because they've never heard of you, you still let them go to your website to learn more, which needs to look impressive. So it all ties together, right? Okay. The phone call, again, when you call, guys, reference your social and your email. Oh, hey, it's James. Followed you on Instagram. Loving the posts. Shot you an email the other day too. Wanted to see if you had a quick minute to just chat about the market, or a quick minute. I'll swing by the office. We can grab a coffee. Would love to hear how I could help educate your buyers. Would love to see if we can talk about how to work together or collaborate. Hey, have an idea I want to run by you for a webinar that I think we could put on to generate more buyers. Lots of good, just think of how to constantly add value, and these ideas will just keep coming to you over and over, and you can try them out. But if you call and get someone on the phone, be ready with an ask. Can we get coffee? Can I drop by the office? Can I get on your vendor list? Was looking for feedback on this repair request builder feature that helps my other agents save an hour on their inspection objection. Would you see if it could work for you? Is it something you'd be interested in? Have a clear ask. Can't accentuate that enough. And then the follow-up, I mentioned that, guys. Get a couple emails, you want engagement, their phone number, or permission to keep sending them something, permission to keep following up. Cool. Wanted to speed through that in the first part, guys. For those of you that saw it, a little repetition, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Let's get to this, because I wanted to tee up something for you guys in terms of writing blog posts on your sites. So we talked a little bit about adding value with these emails. And let's go back to this one right here. So when you guys send an email, it's even better if you can link to something unique on your actual website. So if you're saying, what do you think of this article? You can write your own market update article, guys, really, really quickly. And I wanted to share an outline with you guys. I have a writing template that I use when I write for Spectora. And I'm going to share this as well. So if I was writing an article to get an agent's attention, go through the exercise. Even if it's the same every time, go through this once or twice to say, real estate agents, what's the purpose of this content? I want to educate them with some stats. You have to know your purpose. And I guess this is for impactful writing. I've done a lot of research on this and read a lot of very persuasive writers. And so you want to be clear of your purpose, because then when you're writing it, you have a kind of a North Star and a guiding light. How will this get found? You're going to email it to them directly. What emotion are you trying to evoke? It can be fear in this case because you're talking about the market. Probably not making them laugh, probably not making them outraged, probably not sending cute puppies. But just know that there's some emotion you usually want to evoke from a blog post. And then write your headline, title. You want your preview image. What is your main point? What are your 1 to 3 main takeaways, lessons, or asks of the reader? So this is just a mini framework, guys, for writing a blog post on, say, a market update, or 5 things a home buyer should know about new builds, or why every home buyer needs a home inspection. You can really use this template for anything, but I wanted to at least expose you guys to this month because getting focused on writing needs structure. It requires structure. I used to just think I could wing it when I would write blog posts, and I'd get writer's block. I would just sit there with the cursor blinking at me, as opposed to, okay, what am I actually trying to get across here? What do I want them to come away with? And then what's something they're going to learn? And then, of course, you're going to want to cite some data when you guys write these articles that you're going to send to agents. So part of the point of this is to write a blog post that you can send to agents because you're coming with something of value. This is part of prospecting. This is not just, hey, I'm TC, I'm James, I'm Wade. Can you use me? This is my company. It's like, hey, did you check out this latest article on the markets? What do you think? Do you think 11% is realistic for, price growth or level of inventory, something like that, that gets them thinking, oh, this guy can talk the market with me. So I recommend everybody get very familiar with national real estate stats. For that, I go to tradingeconomics.com. Put that in the chat. I look at economic indicators, because this is data that not all agents look at, believe it or not. They do not keep up with this stuff. Most don't. Your bigger agents and brokerages will. But if you can learn a little about housing numbers, this spurs great conversations, guys. So this is one thing I wanted to make sure to fit in today, was to bookmark this page, and you should know what existing home sales numbers clock in at every month. Because right now we're at a seasonally adjusted rate of 5.6 million. That's lower than the previous reading of 5.7 million. So you can ask agents now. You have an immediate engaging question to ask agents, which is, hey, how are your buyers reacting? Are they pulling back? Because the numbers show that. How are they reacting to higher mortgage rates? So now you're speaking their language. And I think when you show them that you're speaking their language, I believe personally this drives higher engagement, because when inspectors wrote me with that kind of content, it was something I knew. It was my comfort zone. If they wanted to talk about flashings or have me pass along an article, it still might work. But if they're engaging me about something I know well and want to talk about, guess what? You win when they answer an email and say, oh no, buyers are starting to tiptoe a little bit, or hey, they're not paying 50 over ask anymore. There's just more like 10 over ask. Great. You got an answer. You got engagement to an email, to a social media post. But this is going to give you all the data you need to start conversations and write an article or two. So I wanted to get that in front of you. I also go to CNBC, real estate, kind of all the other real estate kind of news sources, because if you guys can become not experts, even just decent with the data, you always have a blog post you can write. And guys, it doesn't need to be long. It could be 2 paragraphs. The point is, you're looking at some data, maybe saying what you believe will happen, or extrapolating that. You publish it on your site, and then you link to it when you email agents. That's a strategy I want to get into more, and I'll actually maybe write an article live in the coming weeks or next month to kind of take you guys through getting into WordPress and actually writing that article. But again, template, very simple, of what's your main point? What are the takeaways? What data and stats do you need? This gives you structure to where when you sit down, you just start typing, and now you have some ammunition to send to agents. And this can be, and you can document this too. When you email them, you can put in here, and you can create another column and say, okay, I sent them my market update article, and kind of reference that. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in here, guys. I use Google Sheets a ton to organize data, Gmail, your website. Fiverr, Upwork, TaskRabbit. I mentioned these guys because you could probably spend a very little amount of money to have someone create this list for you. This is a manual task. It is okay to use TaskRabbit, Fiverr. Say you pay $100, but then you have a list of 100 agents and how many deals they've done. Amazing use of your time if you spend $100 to get that done, or whatever it costs. I don't know what it costs. I have never done this, but I know this is literally why those services exist, is so people can do the research for you, and then you just come in and execute. One thing I want to point out, guys, look at Lauren and Amy here. They've done 0 and 2 transactions in the last 12 months. Maybe start sending off emails, following on social with some of these agents first. I'm a big believer in get your reps in with lower consequence agents that have more time and that are more likely to talk to you, because everyone's hitting up Sergio. Everyone wants to work with Sergio. He's probably getting hit up by title companies, mortgage companies, inspectors. Start down here, because you know what? Maybe you do work your way up to working with a Tim here who's done 22 again, and then you're maybe a topic of conversation in those sales meetings. Maybe you buy him a Yeti mug with your logo on it and he brings it into a sales meeting. That's a true story. Kurt Hose, North Ohio Property Inspection, did this many years ago. He got into offices and then he would give them a very expensive Yeti mug with his logo and phone number on it. And he got those brand impressions in a sales meeting because no one's throwing away a Yeti mug that costs $80 or whatever it costs. I think I saw someone in here that's in Ohio. Wonderful strategy. Feel free to rip that off and use that. And then HubSpot or other CRM. HubSpot has a free version. You can integrate that with Spectora. If you're on Spectora Advanced, you can integrate any CRM. I had a guy on the podcast. The name's blanking me at the moment. Up in Canada, he uses the free version of HubSpot because I think it allows you 2,000 contacts. And he's just kind of manually been putting his agents in there and sending emails, sending drip campaigns to where it emails them every 5 days or 10 days, and does his follow up through that CRM. So, or you do it manually. I think for some of you new folks, I think you want to start just sending out manual emails so you can really craft them with personal details and put effort into them. But for some of you more experienced guys that are doing a lot, I would consider that because again, Spectora is a CRM light. It's not quite yet to a point. I don't know if we're ever going to compete with a HubSpot because that's what they do. They are a CRM. Again, guys, I'm going to post this recording to the YouTube channel. So subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure, and then I'll send out the webinar to everybody. Let's do questions real quick because I kind of went through the similar approach, went through some email templates, gave you guys kind of some places to find some economic data to generate content. I do believe everyone here needs to get in the habit of maybe writing a blog post or two, or at least if you don't want to write the blog post, here's a good backup plan. Write it in an email. So if you go to CNBC Real Estate and anytime you see data, I want you to get in the mindset of, I'm going to repackage this, I'm going to reword this, or I'm even going to closely copy this and ask my agents about it. Because home sales and data home sales numbers come out every week or so. You always have new data that you can reference to agents and ask them how it's affecting their buyers. So that's, I believe, one of the highest conversion kind of ways to approach agents because you're starting a conversation. And that's what you want to get in the habit of, is start a conversation that leads to engagement, that builds trust, that builds credibility. And those are the factors that make someone trust a home inspector for the first time. Because I've had to trust a home inspector for the first time. And a very experienced one and a fairly new one. And I gave them both a shot because of the way they interacted with me through email, particularly. So let's stop there. Let's go to questions, guys. Because I got about 10 minutes here. Let's dive in. Let's see. Let me scroll back through and see if any of you guys had any in the beginning. Well, one, guys, let me know if any of this kind of was new to you, or if any of these, I guess, give you a new tool in the toolbox. Because that's my whole goal here, is to give you at least one little tidbit, one website, one place to go look to find data, one email template to send agents. So I'll hang around, guys, for another 5 to 10 minutes. Pop questions in there, and I'm gonna put this on spectora.com/webinars. I am going to double check that that is the URL. I'll put it in here for you guys. But fire questions away in the chat, guys. But otherwise, guys, if you're taking off, thank you for joining. Again, we're going to keep doing these and hammering home these concepts. Here's the URL, everybody, for the most recent webinars. For those of you that are here, we're going to do a lot more exclusive webinars for people that are in the Spectora community and that have Jumpstart, because I'm going to start going into WordPress sites, creating a blog post and doing it as if I'm you. And that's what the next one's going to be. I'm going to click through, kind of show you how to create your own blog post. James, yes, look out for an email from me by the end of the week with the template emails, as well as the spreadsheet and links to this economics website where I get a lot of my kind of national data from that I use to connect with people. Due diligence, property inspections. I'm going to have the email marketing templates out by the end of the week. I'll send a link to the blog post. So again, I'm practicing what I preach, y'all. So I'm going to create a blog post on our site with these templates, and then I'm going to send it all to you guys. And so again, I'm trying to set the example here of saying you want to create these commentary on market economics, on data, and get agents to click through to your site. There's like a dual benefit there. So again, guys, it's habits. I want everyone to, there's a framework out there called the 2x2. It's supposed to mean 2 hours, 2 times a week. So carve out 2 hours, 2 times a week. So that's 4 hours total, and block it off on your calendar to commit, to get yourself to do it. For you busier guys, it's to be ready to say no to inspections, to get this kind of work done. For you newer guys, it's more to hold yourself accountable and say, you know what, Thursday morning from 8 to 10, I am writing a blog post. I am reaching out to agents. I'm doing my SEC 3-pack. All right, Shelby, I love this question. Possible Zoom call, about 40 agents coming up. How do I interact but not come off as just a salesman? That is the goal. That is a wonderful question. So, Shelby, I say how you do this is by adding value and educating, looking at it as you are educating them on something that they probably don't know. So think about what that is. If you're, I don't know what experience level you're at, but I promise you, even if you're in training or shortly out of a school, there are things you know about a home. There are, market update. You can zoom through a market update. That's more of establishing credibility. So if you start the call off with, hey, here's how I view the current market dynamics, and I think how you guys can talk about how to handle your buyers. So Shelby, this is one thing agents can't get anywhere else. They can't get the perspective of a home inspector in thinking of how a home buyer is thinking about a home purchase. So you might be able to ask for a little more nowadays if there's not 30 buyers and homes aren't going for 50 over ask. We may be entering an environment where agents can now tell buyers, hey, there may be some credit we can ask for if a few red safety hazard items come up. Or you can go with the tried and true, hey, here's 5 things you need to be able to talk about as a real estate agent when you're showing a home, because it's still a competitive market. And so I think if you whip up a little, it could be Google Slides. Like I put together those 13 slides I showed to you guys in about an hour. So if you put together some slides with 5 areas and 5 things home agents need to be able to identify, whether it be an old water heater, a furnace that's near end of life, loose toilet, whatever the case may be, whatever you guys feel like an agent can learn a little bit about and get a little more educated about, you're helping them now. You're educating. Try to make it as little about you as possible. And that's very counterintuitive, but that's how you add value. That's how you establish credibility and let people know that like you're there to help them. You're there to support them. If you do want to do something a little salesy, frame it as how it adds value to their buyers, how it adds value to them. And to me, that's Repair Request Builder. That's online scheduler. That's automated emails and texts to make sure you're communicating, because that speaks to values, your values as a business person. So I think saying, hey, agents, like this isn't something, I'm not, this is a tool that I have that I just have to help you guys. It's called Repair Request Builder. It'll save you about 30 minutes generating the repair addendum. And if you're in a state where they can attach a document, the Repair Request Builder is even more money, because they can generate the repair request document asking for credit or repairs, print off the PDF or save the PDF and attach it to their state form. So you're just showing them how to use a tool, guys. I think when you get in front of agents and you're like, hey, let me just show you this tool that's going to help you, you're not making it about yourself anymore. And that's very appealing. That's kind of the root of sales and marketing, is be selfless to be selfish, knowing that the result is they're blown away by your knowledge. You're helping them avoid maybe liability. You're making them look just a little smarter. You're saving them time. That's what makes someone like someone. I don't believe most agents know or care about a certification, or maybe your deep background in electrical or housing. Mention it, but don't spend a lot of time on the things you find important and that are important. I know it's important. We have to think about who's receiving our message. The agents are the ones we have to get inside the head of, and most people think about themselves. That's fair. And so I think next level sales and marketing is saying, how do I educate you? How do I show you something that you didn't know, save you time, make you more money, that you're going to be their best friend. So I hope that helped. I'm happy to dig into it more if you have a follow-up on that or want to dig into any other parts of it. But I think you make it about them. You think about how you can make their life better, or even comfort their buyers in this time. So if you know things about the market, or you follow housing trends or your area, maybe you hit on a few points just to show that you think the same way as them, that you're on the same team as them. We still want people buying homes. And that's kind of the end goal. So anything that speaks to that, whether it be, hey, here's how to talk to your buyers about the red items on a home inspection report, and you show them how you communicate, that will blow them away. If you say, here's a few things to keep in mind when you communicate these, my reports, you put them into context, you let them know some of these are just $20 fixes at Home Depot. That's another blog post idea. 5 common defects that are a $20 fix at Home Depot. Agents guarantee don't know that. So if you tell them, hey, when you see these, you've already prepared your buyers that these are easy fixes that usually freak people out. So you want to hit those ones up that I think people think are a huge deal, but aren't. We all know those, we all know those 5, 10, 20 defects that a home buyer is going to see and think is thousands of dollars, when really it's $100 fix at Home Depot. So I think if you can zone in on those, that'll go a long way. Great question. And congrats on getting that Zoom call. That's a big deal. Put in the comments how you got that call. How did you land that, Shelby? Due diligence. All right. Same question. I hope and this is 15 office agents. So maybe you can make it interactive with a smaller group. I would say if it's smaller, you can ask questions and say, what are your buyers' biggest challenges right now? And be prepared to speak to some of those points, because guess what? If you ask them that and they come up with a few things that you can maybe help with in terms of like how to think about the home, how to think about an investment, how to build equity, you're speaking their language now. So I think the more you get them engaged and involved, you don't want them playing on their phones. If you're going through a PowerPoint on electrical defects, that's the biggest way to lose them. I think you want to make it about them, show them how you're going to save them time with the Repair Request Builder, show them a report, how you speak about it to buyers, and maybe how the context has changed in this new environment. Because if you tell them, hey, look, if there's less offers on homes and home prices are high, mortgage rates are high, there could be less competition, which means your buyers might feel good about asking for something after the inspection. Here's some common defects, some things that maybe they could ask for, and maybe that you can allude to get them excited about that aspect of it, because buyers haven't been able to ask for anything for probably 8 years now. So you could talk about how you maybe see that environment changing. You're kind of forecasting a little with your crystal ball, but they want to hear your opinion, guys. Like, I really want you guys to think about what you think where the market's going, and maybe form a hypothesis about it. No one's going to fault you. No one's going to think you're making some bold prediction. But if you walk them through how to talk to buyers about maybe being able to ask for a few defects and a couple grand here and there, you're arming them with some knowledge, and they're going to feel favorable about you. I think if you arm people with knowledge and get them to engage. So make a list of questions, get them talking. When people talk, they feel heard and they end up liking you more. So it's counterintuitive. Don't feel like you have anything to prove when you guys get these presentations. Don't feel like it's a talking contest and you have to peacock and kind of show what you know. You're getting them to talk and engage, because agents, when they're talking about themselves, they probably end up feeling better at the end of the meeting. Very cool. Shelby, you mentioned called the brokerage my brother started working at, so I had an in. Good. Personal network goes to the deck, right? Speaks to the deck. If you have a personal network, use that in, ride it all the way, get your foot in the door to get a presentation. I think you have to ruthlessly think about your network and almost shamelessly say, hey, you're an agent? What brokerage are you part of? Do you guys go into the office? Do you have sales meetings? Okay, could I get some emails of some people you work with, some counterparts? Would love to get feedback on my reports. They're not going to say no to that, guys. So anyone you know that is an agent or knows an agent, which everyone here, I guarantee you can throw a rock and hit an agent pretty much anywhere you're at this point in the market cycle. Get those intros and be prepared with some of these templates. So we're going to equip you guys with as much as possible to get in front of these agents. How can I learn more about how to market the repair request builder? So one, go use it. So anyone here that wants to learn more about it, go into your sample report, create 2, 3, 5, 10 repair request building documents, and then research your form that your state that the agents have to submit. So whatever it's called, repair addendum, inspection objection. Go see what that form looks like. So Google, Nevada repair addendum, or, for me, it'd be Colorado inspection objection form. Take a look at it. And then maybe Google that part of the real estate process. So if you Google and just understand what they have to do, because I went through it. So I did it. So I know the process. But if you, ask an agent. There's one. Like, that literally can be the reason why you ask to get coffee with an agent. If you can say, hey, would love to learn about how you create your inspection objection, how you do the repair addendum. I would love to just learn a little bit about it and buy you a coffee. They'll walk you through it. I guarantee they'll probably want to show you that. So I think you can Google it in your state of how that process looks and what happens. But in general, they're using your report to generate a document that has pictures and a predetermined dollar amount that they're asking for, and it looks better and it shows the proof of why they're asking for what they're asking for. And so I think the more you use it as you're thinking of it from their context, so use it thinking of it as an agent. So if you're an agent going through this, you're like, oh, this is easy. I just click check mark. I put in $2,000. And I'll do a demo of this next month at the webinar too. We'll make it a random month's webinar where I go through the repair request builder, how to market it, and then we'll tee up some blog posts. That sounds like that could be pretty useful. Awesome. Guys, you're amazing. Thank you for showing up. You guys just continue to show up and ask amazing questions. And I hope there's just some value I'm adding. I love doing this kind of stuff. So you can go to spectora.com/webinars. I'll put it in the chat one more time, guys. This will be here within the next day or two. And then look out for an email from me personally. I'll send out the spreadsheet, some of these links and resources. And then, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for joining. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know if there's another topic you want to hear next month. And we'll keep these rolling, man. The goal is to get in front of agents. Business, if there's less homes being sold, guys, it's time to sharpen our pencils and get in front of more agents. And it is a volume game, but remember, be yourself, keep showing up, keep putting in the reps, because, for every 10 or 20 you email or call, you'll maybe get one or two, but it starts happening over time, and it starts to be a flywheel effect that um, it will start working if you keep showing up and putting your full self into it and trying to execute. So just want to give you the structure and the framework to do it. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and look out from those resources from us by the end of the week. See ya.